Everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Moohead Radio. I'm your host, a big and furry bovine. During the course of the next hour or so, we'll be talking about things that are specific as far as the Cleveland Browns and the Guardians, and some stuff that I find to be, let's just say, very interesting. If you want to be part of the show today, I am putting up a link that'll take you right into the studio if you want to join me and basically debate a cow. Here's where we start with this. And this is personal to me, very personal. When I was 23 years old, I flunked out of college when I was 22. And when I was 23, I basically wanted to get a start in the radio business, and I started by selling advertising. But I didn't start selling advertising for a family business. My father owned two radio stations in Canton, Ohio, but I was at the University of Massachusetts, and I was just kind of flunked out. And so I came back to Canton, got a job at WTOF FM, the Tower of Faith. It was a Christian radio station, and I started on the streets, pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, trying to get advertising. And I did not want, at that point, anything except to get my feet wet and to learn the ropes as far as the sales business was concerned, and more in the radio business. As things turned out, I did okay there, and I moved up, and my father noticed what I was doing and gave me an opportunity. But what frequency is WTOF today? I don't know. What TOF? I can't even remember what their frequency was. I don't recall. That's amazing. But they were the Tower of Faith. And so I worked for my father on the streets, and man, that was the hardest years of my life, because anything that I didn't know, I was reminded that I didn't know, and it was brutal. It was emotionally brutal. But it thickened my skin, toughened my hide, and allowed me to move on to other things. What I will say is this: during the period of time as I progressed in the business, my mother got sick, and my father had to leave the business in order to go to Florida with my mother, who was having breast cancer issues. And it was a tough time for everybody in our lives. He went to Florida, and at 26 years of age, I was left up there, and I was eyeing the people who were doing, like, managing the radio stations, and seeing what I would do differently. And it was all part of a process of learning. And it was, what would I say, humbling, to say the least, because the general managers thought I was a spy in there, and it made life literally 10 times harder for me. Yeah, 98.1. That's what it was, the Tower of Faith. And it just made things much harder. I ended up, when the radio station sold, I went to Jackson, Tennessee. I went to Spokane, Washington. I was managing radio stations. But, during that period of time, I didn't want my father to know basically what I was doing and the hardships of life on the road, which he knew about all too well because he was a self-made man. And a lot of my business character was learned that way. So when the news came out today that Shedeur Sanders basically told his father, stay away. Go to Shiloh's professional practices. Don't come to Cleveland to watch me. And I started reading his quotes so that, so that I wouldn't have a filter to read through where people would make it into something where it wasn't going. He doesn't want Dion at camp because he wants to get where I want to go. Now, some people are going to misinterpret that and say, oh, well, he didn't want to be in Cleveland. And to this, you get two of these, you have, actually, you could have four of them. This has been a comeuppance for this young man. And he thought that he's going to be some kind of a celebrity, and he thought he can go racing his cars and doing whatever the hell he wanted, and that he was a quasi-celebrity. And the Cleveland Browns, being as bad an organization as they are, and really without a quarterback, he has been the only guy not to get first-team reps. And it's humiliating to him. And he doesn't want his father to see that. And he probably wouldn't even want his father to know about it. I didn't want my father to know what was going on in Jackson, Tennessee, or in Spokane, Washington. I didn't want him to know. So you live and you learn. And in the case of Shedeur, what he's learning is the NFL is a lot harder than college football. And the publicity is bigger than it was at the University of Colorado, and it's crueler because when you drop precipitously from what was supposed to be a first-round selection in the NFL draft all the way down to the fifth round, and you end up getting drafted by a team that quite frankly sucks, the comeuppance just keeps happening and keeps deepening. And this is how you learn what you want to be and what you want to do. And I would like to compare it in some portion to Bronny James, who's in a similar situation, except had to come to Los Angeles to play with his father. And that, a very awkward situation in which Bronny James has not proven that he is an NBA caliber player. But it's also trying to live up to something, and it's a very difficult thing to do. So as things move on in the story, I don't want him coming to see me right now because I want to get to where I want to go, then for him to see me. I don't want him to come and see me get a couple reps and he's cheering like a good dad. Like, nah, you can't be proud of me now. I got to get to where I'm going, and I know it's a lot I got to do to get there. That is what you call character. That is what you call comeuppance and learning your place in the great scheme of things. And when you work at your craft and you are driven by somebody in your lineage who was considered great at what he did, it gives you an opportunity to find your way into either the business that he was in or another business, but it makes you realize how good you have to be to succeed. And I'll compare this to Pickett, who's like, I missed 3 practices because of a hamstring, and I'm going to go out there and prove I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to prove that. He has said that for 2 different teams, okay? Keep your fucking mouth shut. Until you prove yourself, you are nothing, you see. Nothing. And Pickett hasn't learned that lesson yet. He still thinks he's some guy coming out of college And, oh, things were fucked up in Pittsburgh. And, oh, I just wasn't going to get a chance in Philadelphia. And, oh, yeah. But here I am in Cleveland. And, boy, if I can't make it in this dump, then, maybe then that'll be the comeuppance for him, I hope. But instead, no. He's still talking about, oh, I got time. Big deal. He's competing with a 40-year-old man and 2 rookies, and he's still trying to pump himself up. It's like, please make this stop. And if you didn't hear, now Dylan Gabriel's got a pulled hamstring, and he can't do anything. And so it goes, as Billy Joel says. Here's more quotes from Shedeur. It's kind of like I just want everything that I'm doing, I just want to focus on this time. And I don't want no distractions because we know how the media, we know how everybody would take it and take away from the team just from him being my dad showing up. So it's a gift and a curse at the same time. You bet your ass, young man, 23 years old, and you're finding out the truth about life just like I did. On the streets of Canton, they called me Jack Jr. because my father's name was Jack, and I'd wince inside myself. Had a smile on my face, but I winced inside myself. I never wanted to be Jack Jr. I looked up to my father tremendously, absolutely, but I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be Bronny James, and I wouldn't want to be the son of Deion Sanders trying to make an NFL team after dropping from the 1st round to the 5th round in the NFL draft. So, and then there's this. With the fact that his father's making headlines for the wrong reasons now because, his bladder was removed because there was a cancerous tumor in his bladder, this has got to be a hard time for the family. And Shedeur added this. It's definitely stay focused mentally. Dad, he's one person that he'll handle this. We handle what we got to. So it was something that we really ain't have a formal conversation about because it was like, y'all need to focus on what y'all can focus on. Can't sit here and feel sorry for me, and then that's affecting y'all doing that. A lot on this young man's plate. His father is sick. He doesn't want his father to see him. He's been humiliated because he hasn't had a single rep with the first team. And this is what I call honor. You want to know what kind of a teammate he is? Just watch. Is he good enough to be a quarterback in the NFL? I don't know. Neither do you. Neither does anybody who's commenting. Not Orlovsky, not any of the talking heads. Nobody knows. But I do know one thing. From 22 years of age to 23 years of age, it's a year of reckoning, a year of learning for him, and he's heading in the right direction, folks. And I want to see what he can do. I want to see when he learns the realities of life, how he develops confidence in himself, doing things his way, not the way that his father told him how to do them. When I branched off and did what I did with my life in the radio business, I'm proud to say that my father and I spoke damn near every day because I could learn something from speaking to him. But I didn't do things his way. I did them in the way that I learned over time by paying attention to successful methodologies of other people. And now Shedeur has the opportunity to watch Joe Flacco. and he has the opportunity to practice play action passes. If he doesn't make the Cleveland Browns, if he gets cut, he's going to learn the stuff that it takes and move forward with that. And it may result in him never playing in the NFL. But I'll tell you one thing, he'll find his way in life because he knows now that nothing comes for free. And I want to compare this to another story, which is just jingle jangling its way online. You know, I really don't understand how Mary Kay Cabot is a recipient of a Hall of Fame award. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think she's a reporter. I think that she is bought and paid for by the Cleveland Browns organization. And when she's accepting an award, she takes a little shot at Bill Belichick. I want to say something about this, and I feel very strongly about this as well. This is an interesting question. Is Friday only on the network? I don't understand your question. What network? I'm in my house. But whatever, there may be the wrong title on this. It may be showing the name of the studio if it's saying Friday Moohead Radio. I'm still learning how to get all the labeling on this correct. No, the Monday and Friday show and this season, the Browns halftime and postgame shows will always be up on YouTube. Always. So all you have to do is check out my Twitter feed, and you'll see what the address is, and you can watch there. He's talking about NFL Network, Browns, Panthers. At WEWS TV in Cleveland is the local carrier of the preseason games, and that's why I urge people in a nice, quiet way to find, if you're out of state, maybe find some alternate methodologies to watch these games. And there are apps that you can download onto devices and watch these games, because I don't know who's offering the preseason games at this point. Let's get the Moose in. Hey, Moose, what's up?
Me. I was asleep a little while ago. So
Congratulations. You're now awake.
I'm now awake. Tell me, now that I'm woke, tell me what I missed.
Well, I just got done talking about. Why should I repeat this live on the air?
No. Just real quickly. 1 minute.
Shadur, a quick thing. Shadur Sanders saying that he didn't want his father to attend his practices because it's
fair enough.
Nothing to watch because he's not getting any first team reps, and he wants to actually prove something first before his father sees him play. That's
fair enough.
What and we're segueing now into into the fact that Mary Kay Cabot got her award and she took a shot at Bill Belichick. And this is
I don't know anything about this. Ooh.
Yeah, she accepted her award and basically recounted a story of how when she was young and she was in a post-game presser, she asked questions of Bill Belichick, who really yelled at her. And she was, at the time she was 28 years old. And as she carried that with her all these years, and basically when she accepted her award, she told the story of how he had yelled at her, and that now that she's older, she understands that. And I want to quote her.
Exactly.
Here's what she said. Bill Belichick was the first Browns coach I ever covered. All right. You see, if you start out with Bill Belichick, no one can rattle you after that. If Bill didn't like something I wrote, he'd call and yell at me. If you asked a dumb question, he'd call you out. Eventually, I had to learn to stand up to him. During one of those yelling matches, I told him, you don't have to have the footballs to say that to the guys, then don't say it to me. All right.
Ooh.
No, wait. Then it went on. She goes, now I totally understand why Bill gave me such a hard time. I was 28 at the time, and he just couldn't relate to a woman that old.
Wow.
All right. Now, I don't like Bill Belichick. Anybody who's watched this program knows that.
Does anybody who watched this program like Bill Belichick?
Yeah, no. I see Tony's in here too. Tony the Calf, how you doing, buddy?
Ask him whether he likes Bill Belichick.
Yeah, did you like Bill Belichick, Tony?
I like that he can hook up 90 or 19-year-old women like they're going out of style, but
Well, I mean, money changes everything.
as a human, not so much.
Yeah, we're all in agreement on that one.
Yeah, he's just not a great guy, and believe me, he cheated on his wife. He did things, and he berated his players. He would use players as public examples and humiliate them. The things that I couldn't stand about Bill Belichick are innumerable.
Correct.
So, do I think the line she said was funny? Yeah. As a one-liner, toss away kind of line, absolutely. And it should have stopped at that, but then, of course, you know that the media was going to pick it up. And the New York Post, that rag of integrity, they posted, Browns reporter takes savage shot at Bill Belichick. Now, here's what I think.
What do you think?
Mary Kay Cabot has been in Northeast Ohio, if you want to say since she was 28 or younger, whatever. It's been over 30 fucking years since Bill Belichick was the coach of the Cleveland Browns, okay?
Correct.
She had 30 fucking years to say what she thought about Bill Belichick.
Yes.
She had 30 plus years to write articles about what a prick he was and what she had to go through. 30 fucking years she had, and she didn't do it. You know what else she doesn't do? She doesn't write anything that could be even possibly interpreted as being negative toward the organization. She is bought, paid for, sold by the organization, and what she writes is basically dictated to her. You'll never see her step out and take exception to the way the Browns organization is being run, the decisions that are being made, the lack of quality of the product, how the fans keep paying more and getting less. You'll never hear that from Mary Kay Cabot. So why now?
Why now?
Yep. Why now do we hear the Bill Belichick story, which was over 30 years old?
Oh, no. Tell us why.
I'll tell you why. Because she had an award in her hand.
Yeah.
And she felt entitled.
Wow.
Because she's in the Hall of Fame now, you see? That Raiders Hall of Fame. And now she has the clout to take the shot 30 some odd years later. And I find that detestable. It isn't that and because she went to try to, defend herself on social media.
Mark?
Yeah?
Mark?
What?
Mark.
I'm having trouble understanding.
What the hell is frozen?
What's frozen?
No, we're not frozen. You're frozen, Tony. You're in Minnesota. It's cold there.
Yeah, and your signal strength is low, Tony. All right, so I'm muting him for now. because I
Oh, he's
can't keep
gone.
well,
He's
I
gone.
can't keep getting interrupted and lose track
Arr.
off and on. It makes it very,
Right,
very
you're in the middle of Mary Kay Cabot having an award, and now suddenly feeling entitled to have a shot at Big Bad Bill Belichick, who everybody knows is a twat.
yeah.
And Tony's back in. He's
Hi,
here.
Tony.
I can see the top of his head.
I better get his microphone on.
That's either the top of his head or penis. I'm not sure which.
No, it froze on me. That's weird.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
You were mid comment. I think you were calling Mary Kay a cunt or something.
I wouldn't use that word. Maybe at some point in the
That's
last
far too nice.
20 years I have. But my point in all of this
What is your
is
point?
people do things when they think they're entitled and have a
Correct.
right to do them. And we're putting David Talevsky in here as well.
Wow.
Hi, David.
Bear with me.
Yep.
I still have no sound, but I'm going to try to see if I can figure it out myself.
Okay, good.
Anyway,
God
you
help
were
me.
interrupted.
God help me. That's it, everybody. Good night, everybody. I can't get it out.
Nobody wants you to tell this story about.
Well, I'm going to tell the story because it's worth telling.
God damn it.
Yeah. So here she is standing up in front of a bunch of people. A lot of them don't even know who in the hell she is. And she tells the story. She goes on the internet and defends herself by saying, cool it, folks. It was just a joke. All right. And that's an easy way of passing it off, is it was just a joke. But it was a bitter joke, and a joke that she refused to tell for the last 30 some odd years of her life.
When she perfectly was entitled to do so at any point.
I am not very pleased with anybody who thinks that it takes an award and that now she's free to do this and now she's free to do that. She was at practice signing a guy's artificial leg. I mean, does this woman really think she's a fucking celebrity now? I mean, what is it that goes through people's heads?
What the hell's wrong with the guy to think that she
that is just so wrong on so many levels. I don't even know where to start.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, entitlement is something that truly bothers me, and I want to compare it to something else because everyone knows the story with Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz. Everybody knows that at this point, they're never going to play baseball again. All right. Their careers are going to be over. All right.
Right.
And the reason is because teammates would not accept the fact that he was doing less than his best in order to pocket extra money. All right. They've cleaned the lockers out in the clubhouse of Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz. There must be so much evidence on these guys that it's over. All right. Done. So, and one thing I will say to David Talevsky, what you're trying to figure out, you only have one on the meter of signal strength. Your internet strength is so weak that chances are you're not getting the full effect of the show. You're not able to hear stuff and you're not able to broadcast. Until you get a better connection, until you connect directly to your modem, you're not going to be able to do this. If you're trying to do this strictly on a phone and it's wireless and you have a lousy phone antenna, it isn't going to work. That's why this isn't working, because I can see everybody's signal strength on here.
And mine is banging. My signal strength has got to be through the roof.
Well, you're 4 out of 4, and Tony's 3 out of 4, and I am 4 out of 4. So, at any rate, Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, no, I don't feel sorry.
I also weigh 304, but that's beside the point.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, is that an upgrade?
Yeah.
So, my feeling is that they get what they deserve. It's pathetic. There's no way you can go back to your teammates and say, I was just trying to make a little on the side at your expense.
Yeah, sorry, fellas. Making you look bad. Yeah.
But, all right, there's always a but to this, and this is what I call the entitlement theory. All right? Let's take a look at the owner of the New York Mets, Steve Cohen. All right.
Yeah.
In
Beats the
2013,
Mets.
his
Where's
company
Mets?
in 2013, his company SAC Capital Advisors pleaded guilty to insider trading charges and agreed to pay 1.8 billion,
Billion
not
pounds.
with an M, with a B, in
B.
fines. One of the biggest criminal cases against a hedge fund in history. The plea meant that SAC Capital had to return outside investors' money and cease managing external funds. But he made a settlement with the SEC. While Cohen himself wasn't criminally charged, yes, he got out of that, the SEC brought a civil lawsuit against him, accusing him of failing to adequately supervise employees, particularly former portfolio manager Matthew Martoma, who was convicted of insider trading himself. In 2016, Cohen, settled the civil case with the SEC, agreeing to a 2-year ban from managing outside money and subjecting his firm to periodic SEC reviews and the oversight of an independent consultant. The settlement was seen as a victory for Cohen, as the SEC had initially sought a lifetime ban. Does it sound familiar? But lifetime bans are rare, and the legal landscape has shifted, making it harder for prosecutors to win these cases. The aftermath, after the settlement, he converted SAC into a family office, managing his own money. Business Insider reported in 2014, the firm was rebranded as Point 72 Asset Management. When the SEC lifted his ban in 2018, it was reported that Point 72, his new company, began managing outside money again.
Yep.
So he got a slap on the wrist.
Correct.
Never spent a minute in jail, never lost his ability to continue to do and play the games that he had played. And today,
He owns the Mets.
He owns the Mets, and he paid an inflated price for them. That's entitlement, folks.
Oh.
That's entitlement. And it's why I
100%.
disrespect Jimmy Haslam so much, because he never learned to do business better than his father. He just inherited shit. He never learned anything. That guy doesn't know dick. And Steve Cohen, if you look at the years that he's owned the Mets, they have a worse record than the goddamn Guardians. They got a payroll of over $400 million a year.
Yep. The Guardians have more wins per salary than probably most of the league.
No,
but the Mets are
more wins than the New York Mets over the last several years.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm also trying to big up the Guardians, too. So, yeah.
I mean, it's just, so it's the Emmanuel Clases and the Luis Ortizes who pay the price of their stupidity.
It's the littler guys that pay the price. And
as far as hooking this up with Mary Kay Cabot, she wants to be one of the protected ones now that she has that award. Yeah. But let me tell her something. It doesn't mean shit. When Michael Jordan was let into the Hall of Fame, people want to tell me he was the greatest player who ever played. He's such a fucking dick. When he went up to accept his award, was he grateful to everybody?
Absolutely not.
He badmouthed every teammate that he had that he hated. Every Utah Jazz player. Everything of people that he had any bump and grind with over the course of his career. And it was this monologue of hate, and despicable hate at that. He's not the best player because he's not a good person. All right? And he could do it because everyone bows to his feet because he's Michael fucking Jordan. Well, Michael fucking Jordan could play a great game of basketball, but Mary Kay Cabot is not a good writer. Can we at least agree on one thing? Is that if you want to blast Bill Belichick, You should have done it when you were younger.
When you had the chance, yeah.
You should have done it before you sold your soul to Jimmy Haslam. You should have been able to write an editorial piece to say, this is what I went through. This could be great stuff for women who are trying to work their way up in an organization. But the message that Mary Kay Cabot sends out is go along to get along. And once you get what you want, then you become entitled to do something.
Yeah, once you're like nearly 60 years old or are 60 years old, then you can pop at them.
Not a peep. Oh, and 1 in 31. That's what they did to the fans, what Jimmy Haslam did to the fans. Not a peep from Mary Kay Cabot. Nothing. I've been doing this goddamn show since 2003. Nothing. Actually, 2002. Nothing from Mary Kay Cabot. Nothing ever to say, why would the Browns do this? Why is Randy Lerner in England? Is nowhere near Cleveland when he's supposed to be the owner of the team.
Yeah.
Why did we hire Dwight Clark? I mean, there's so many things that could have been written about. She was there for none of it because she is a sellout. And she's not a good reporter. And yes, it was a funny joke. Good for you. You got one in. I hope you feel better, but you don't even have the courage that Shedeur Sanders has. And that's my point.
Good point.
When you can sit there when you're fighting for your professional life and you can say, I don't want my father here. And I got a lot to learn, man, because I'm behind the 8 ball. And he's basically saying, I'm not getting reps. And the reason is I got so far to go.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to run play action offense. He's not set up for this. And the thing that's interesting, and I always look at the way things happen, and it's like, so now Dylan Gabriel's hurt, and he's looked terrible in practice. And Flacco has stepped up, and that's what we'd expect.
We expected Flacco to emerge as the best candidate.
And he should be. I mean, at this point, if he can stay healthy for as long as he can.
Stay upright, yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's got good character. He's strong with his teammates. He's proven he can win in the NFL. And, he's a seasoned veteran at this point and deserves respect. And he came to camp saying, no, I'm not just here to prep young guys. I'm here to get the starting job. And so he will be the Gary Danielson for somebody. He will be the torchbearer, and he will pass that torch, assuming there's anybody on the roster who's worthy of it being passed to.
Yeah, and assuming there still is a torch. Yeah.
You say Dylan Gabriel's hurt too?
Yeah, he
hamstring.
Yep. So Dylan Gabriel's probably not playing Friday. Kenny Pickett's probably not playing Friday. I'm assuming they're not going to put Joe Flacco in preseason fucking games.
I think that they might run a series or two.
Yeah, they might.
But
it's going to be all Shedeur all the time, basically.
Well, Shedeur's arm has been sore, but he's back in practice, and
Who else do they have? Do they have like fucking?
No, that's what they got. Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be a very interesting thing that goes down. I believe that that Pickett. They're hoping that Pickett will be able to play, and but I don't think that it would be very smart for him to do anything but stay in the pocket and pass the ball. I don't think scrambling, which is how he heard it. And the same thing goes with Dylan Gabriel. He's being flushed out of the pocket, and he doesn't know how to handle it because he's got as far to go as Shedeur Sanders does. He just hasn't said that yet.
Well, could they always bring in like some Connor Shaw or somebody,
Uh,
off the street, for
yeah, like
a preseason game.
have
Ah,
Jim Hammer play the fourth
Yeah,
quarter or
Jim Hammer
something.
can be
Yeah.
playing the fourth
you know
quarter.
something? You only got a couple of games to get an offensive scheme in the skulls of the players, and you can't afford to bring in some bozo that isn't even going to make the roster. The bottom line
Correct.
is,
Well, I get that, but there's nobody else to play. I
Yeah,
mean,
you need bodies to play the game.
yeah,
well, then at that point, you're not working on anything because
correct.
nobody. The only thing you could do theoretically is if there's a quarterback who in the past had played
Yeah,
for
yeah. There's all sorts.
Stefanski's system, like a
Yeah,
Case Keenum.
yeah. There's all sorts of fourth string guys out there. I mean, I think
Yeah.
Connor Shaw was one of them. I mean,
Yeah,
they've
I
got to be
mean,
floating
there
around.
is that possibility that they could bring somebody in who's quasi familiar
Yeah,
with the scheme. So that is, So that's the first thing. There's another thing I want to talk about that is, uh, if the Browns were a class organization, what
yeah,
they would do.
but they're
And
not.
it's what I would do, and because I have class and I have dignity, but unfortunately, we don't see that much in Jimmy Haslam. Uh, D'Amico Ryans, the head coach of the Houston Texans, was quoted, and I want to read this quote because it's about Nick Chubb.
Okay.
And Joe Mixon can't play this preseason because he's got a leg problem. They can't risk it because he's their starting running back.
Yep.
This is a quote from D'Amico. When it comes to Chubb and how am I comparing him? Guy's age, he's been through a lot. It's not always going to be the same as his early years in the NFL. But what I hang my hat on with him is that this guy loves football.
He
He's
does.
physical. He plays the right way. He prepares himself the right way. Really sharp guy when it comes to the protection scheme. He's on it. He's helping out the guys, Ryan said. I'm excited to see him play football. That's what he's always been. He's always been a tremendous football player, especially when he's healthy. So he's still working his way back. Looks like he's in really good shape, and he'll continue to get better. But reading between the lines, he's talking about Chubb's age, that he's
Yeah,
not going to be the same as he was earlier in his career,
correct.
and that he's a hard worker, and it's like the intangibles when everybody's into tangibles, right?
Yeah.
Well, nowadays, yeah,
The
tangibles
Texans
are
need a
everything.
fucking running back because Joe Mixon can go down. They wouldn't have a running back. They need tangibles. And all they're talking about with Chubb is intangibles. He's going to get released, I'm afraid.
Probably, yeah.
But
We're agreeing with you.
if the Cleveland Browns are paying attention, Nick Chubb is a guy to be looking at as a running back coach.
Coach, yes.
Everything that is being said and that we've said about him historically is that the guy was never unprepared. He
Correct.
always in great physical shape.
Correct.
And what do you know? He's physical and he's really sharp when it comes to the protection scheme. And let's be honest. I mean, do you really think Jerome Ford can block somebody when he's, when the fake handoff and Flacco's back to pass? Do you really think that our running backs, as they sit right now, have any ability to pick up blitzes and to pick up a protection scheme?
Let's ask Topaz. No.
That's right. I mean, they've proven that they don't. And, and we've bounced around with running back coaches. And, when we were good, we had a guy and then we got rid of him and then it wasn't so good and on and on and on. But if the Browns are awake, this isn't about Batman returning as the running back god that he was. But he loves Cleveland. Cleveland loves him. And there is a real need with young running backs that they be taught, and I'm saying plural, if Judkins ever gets to play, All right. But these guys need the tutoring and the counseling of somebody who's been there and done that.
Yeah, and they would
Yeah.
listen to him because he's Nick Chubb, isn't it? He could be the perfect mentor, and he could also play an ambassador role like Jim fucking Brown and Bernie Kosar have done in the past.
And
For the fan base.
I don't expect, never did expect that he would come back from this injury.
No,
It,
no, he died.
yeah, I mean, it is a hard thing to overcome.
What's the deal with Quinshawn Judkins? Is it the second round pick?
Yeah, well,
Are they
he's
signing him, or what's the? I mean, I know
well, I
he
mean, right now it's
did he.
frozen, man,
Yeah,
because again, it's the league's judgment, and
Oh
you
yeah,
know what the league's judgment is. If Otani got caught with the gambling thing and they pawned it off on his agent, and then Otani's back out on the field. All right.
yeah,
But it doesn't work that way for Cleveland sports teams. I mean,
no.
Clase and Ortiz are gone, and they're going to be gone for good. They're never going to fucking play baseball again. And that's what they're good for, Major League Baseball, like they did to Pete Rose. They waited until the guy died. But now, all of a sudden, they're just crowing about the greatness of Pete Rose. And they can fuck themselves, these people. I mean,
Absolutely.
what in the world is that all about?
I don't know. It's amazing.
yeah.
I'm just, but again, a guy like Nick Chubb, and I'll go even as far as saying that if you have to play Jerome Ford a lot, and Sampson is going to be a guy who's, he isn't going to be able to pick up anything on play action as far as blocking in the backfield. It's like if he ends up being waived, maybe you might want to look at Chubb to have him on the roster so that he can help protect the goddamn quarterback. Because I'll tell you something, the offensive line, the way that it's set right now, it ain't going to last for long. Not going to last for long. So,
Are you guys all going to be able to see the game?
Yeah.
oh yeah, and WEWS Cleveland, TV5.
Yeah, because
Yep.
my charge for the Zone's version of the Field Pass went through. I'm still sticking with it, so there you go. So
I took Moohead's advice and did the on box, and boy, howdy,
you're happy. That's good.
I've been able to find a lot of shit that I never thought I'd be able to watch.
Where have you? And I'm not going to ask specific
Yeah, don't go
questions.
into detail.
No, but online, did you find free apps? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, I found an app that I've been able to watch basically any sports event I wanted to. I've been able to watch UFC. I was watching the fucking athletics and somebody the other night. I'm gonna get all the football games. I was watching the
Tony,
WNBA for a little bit. I mean, it was
Tony,
all over the.
Tony.
Could
Huh?
watch England, India.
It wouldn't be Sports Fire, would it?
Maybe. Oh, it'd be called Heat Live. Excuse me.
Heat Live. Excuse me. But yeah, I want to be able to see what the Browns are going to look like, and it's going to be a clusterfuck.
Oh,
And
I'm just watching it for the car crash. You know the old silent movie where they crash those two trains together? That's what it's going to look like, and they
Yeah.
fall off. You have Buster Keaton.
So
Yeah,
is Stefanski fired halfway through the season, or do they give him the whole year?
I think they give him the whole year.
Yeah, at this point, it's the real question is you're re-implementing a system that I hope, for the sake of the Browns players, has some upgrades to it, and you're teaching a new system, and it's so difficult. I mean, players, if you look at them sideways, are getting injured in practice. I mean, quite
I
honestly,
know.
fielding a team is challenging enough, and if you're trying to build a whole new system, it would be unfortunate if they would take the first 8 games of the season and say, well, that's what we're judging you by, sayonara. I think he gets the year, but then it'll be if there's no improvement shown in the year, or if you get the liquid thing, then there's going to be no coming back for him. And so that's I wanted to see. I'm now I forget how to share my screen on this damn thing. Um, so yeah, I unfortunately can't share this, but I can tell you that on Cleveland.com, I was looking up. All
Yeah.
right, so who's going to play for the Guardians tonight? Um, and
Didn't they
what?
already play today?
No.
Can't be
They're
worse than the lineups the Twins were trotting out this fucking weekend. Right?
well, but you won the last game, and you shouldn't have. 4 runs in the first inning, and once again, Cantillo comes out in the first inning and gives up 4 runs.
Pretty sure the Twins called me to pitch last Friday, and I had to decline. But
Yeah, I'm not sure what Wable's getting at. He's saying, and I'll put it. What is the story on
I think
Justin's?
he means Judkins.
Justin,
I don't know what he's talking
I think
about.
he means the running back.
What huskiness? I don't understand the.
I don't know.
Neither do I. And Monway is saying that it's this year it's the rebuild, next year it's the hot seat. Yeah, I don't believe it. We'll see about
Maybe.
that. And David is asking, what is considered an improvement? How many wins does he need to improve? My feeling is, if out of 17 games
we win 4, we're doing well.
No, if he wins 7 games, I would say that would be considered an absolute
Coach of the
victory.
year. Yeah, coach of the year material if he wins 7 games.
Yeah. So, but I don't think it's going to be easy for him, because it could look so bad that it could all fall apart and the wheels could fall off. But at any rate, I was looking at who was playing today for the Guardians, and because Stephen Vogt is a moron, he's a mental midget, and he just plays around with his lineup. So Sean Manaea is pitching against them, and he's a left-handed pitcher. And Kwan gets to start in left field, Angel Martinez in center field, Jose Ramirez at third base, but then David Fry. They're not going to let Kyle Manzardo hit against left-handers, even though the other night he won a game in the 10th inning off of a left-hander by going opposite field and getting the hit that won the game. It doesn't matter. Kyle Manzardo, I thought young guys get an opportunity. David Fry is a guy who's hitting below the Mendoza line and was a career minor league player and never really belonged in the big leagues. He kind of had a good year last year. He's been nothing but hurt this year. Then we have Carlos Santana at first base. He's got a black magic woman. Then Gabriel Arias. And then in right field, it says Andrew Jones. I'm not making this up. This is on the Cleveland.com site. Andrew A-N-D-R-U-W Jones, who played decades ago.
50 years ago.
For the Atlanta Braves. I mean, what kind of a fucking typo is that? How does that get by an editor?
I don't know.
I know that Nolan Jones
probably
sucks.
Nolan Jones.
Yes.
Yes.
I know that Nolan Jones sucks. But
he's no Andrew Jones.
Geez, a weezo. Andrew Jones. Unreal.
I don't know what to tell you. What's the weather like out there, Dick Goddard?
Oh, I'm not going to do Dick Goddard. Fuck Dick Goddard.
Fuck he's
no, actually, it was very nice today. It was about 78, 79 degrees today. Very nice day.
Very nice day.
Yeah. And as far as the Guardians are concerned, mediocre is the best I can say about them. When they lost 10 games in a row, I mean, that wiped out any chance of the division. Now they're 3 games behind in the, keeps vacillating between 2 and 3 games behind. And this is the problem when you're a mediocre team and you lose as many as you win, you really can't make an advancement to get into that wild card situation. These games like yesterday's game against the Twins, and nothing against the Twins, Tony, except that they gave away 40% of their roster and got nothing in return. The bottom line is they can't afford to lose those games because now they're in New York and the Mets, and it's going to be hard as hell for them to win on the road. And it's going to be Slade Cecconi who pitches tonight. Slade Cecconi, ride my pony.
Wow. Could have had Josh Naylor instead of Slade Cecconi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me see what else I have here. And Vogt is talking up his bullpen. He's saying how great Kate Smith is. Kate Smith has had kind of an uneven year. Got a great arm, though. I'll tell you, when that guy's breaking ball is working, his, I guess they call it I don't know what he's throwing. It's like a slider almost. He's unhittable. He's up 97, and the ball is rising. It's hard to get on top of the thing. He's really a good young relief pitcher. I didn't realize, because I was wondering, whatever happened to Andrew Walters, the guy who last year came in from the minor leagues and did such a great job? He's gone for the year because he has a lat strain and he had surgery. He's going to be gone for 8 to 10 months.
Wow, that's
And
serious.
you're wondering why also, why you haven't seen Will Brennan. He's gone too.
Will Brennan.
Yeah.
Wilbur Brennan.
Yeah, God almighty. I'm glad we're not seeing him. It's just the same regurgitation over and over and over again. And I'll finish this off by, let's see if there's anything more.
Are you doing a halftime show on Friday, Mark? Or?
Yes, I am going to do it. I am going to do a halftime show.
Halftime show.
And I just hope
and
that
a post game show.
No, that I'm not going to do.
2 in the morning, Moohead Radio.
Or 7 in the morning, Moohead Radio for those overseas.
I don't understand though how Shador is going to play when he hasn't even gotten reps with the first team. What he's going to be in there with God knows who. It's going to be really.
It's going to take the first snap and just go. Ah!
And I'm being asked a question here, and I want to let me see here so I can answer this correctly. Yes, Martinez is batting in the 2-hole, Ron. Yep, that's the case.
It's better than batting in the 5-hole.
To make you feel better before I go off the air here,
please,
ESPN was asking the question of fans, what state of mind are the different NBA teams in? And I thought it's an interesting article from the standpoint that there's a degree of desperation involved in this. Here are the teams they say, got to do it now before the window imminently closes. The Denver Nuggets, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't see that the Milwaukee Bucks have a goddamn chance. And Tony, do the Minnesota Timberwolves have a goddamn chance?
It all depends on how well Anthony Edwards does.
But that's one guy. Is Anthony Edwards as good as Donovan Mitchell?
I would say they're almost in the same ballpark.
Okay. Yeah, I would too, actually.
I do too. But he don't have anybody else.
Oh, I mean, they're relying on Mike Conley to play fucking.
Mike Conley's 90
Mike
years
Conley's
old.
older than Mark, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is, we'll go as far as Anthony Edwards takes us, but it's so far beyond that in the NBA now. It's not fair. So those teams are all in and must win now. Now, here's the next category. all in as far as an extended championship window. Number 1, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ooh.
Number 2, the Houston Rockets. Number 3, the New York Knicks, then the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then the Orlando Magic. Now stop and think, with the exception of the Knicks, who they have to put in there because they blow them on ESPN. And I don't see that. They're gonna, and Mike Brown will help the team because he's a better coach than Tom Thibodeau.
Yep.
God only knows. I do like that the Oklahoma City Thunder are obviously for real. The Orlando Magic, there is the big question mark there. They have, Banchero, who's a really good young player, but I'm not sold on Franz Wagner at all. Until he learns how to make shots from behind the three-point line, everybody's just sitting back a step on him, and he's not able to get that first step and that little hop, step, and jump move that he was so good banking the ball.
There's a lot of hope in Orlando that Jalen Suggs develops and coming up that Desmond Bain provides.
Yeah, the guy from the Grizzlies. Yeah,
that they got.
Desmond Bain is what the story is that because of the fact that Banchero is not a great three-point shooter and that Wagner was absolutely despicable behind the arc, that Desmond Bain had such a great number. But the question is, who's going to be setting him up, and will he have the opportunity to get open looks?
Yeah, he won't because he'll be guarded.
That's the thing. I mean, it's kind of like when Daniel Boobie Gibson was hitting open threes, it was because of a certain other player on the court.
Yeah, and Boobie Gibson was left alone. He needed space for miles.
I mean, don't believe for a minute that Sam Merrill is a great NBA talent. Sam Merrill can hit open shots, and it's because of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and having Mobley. And the fact that they have the players that they have that allow, somebody has to be laid off is what it amounts to.
I had to laugh today. I saw the Spurs give, what was it, De'Aaron Fox, like $255 million. I'm like, I know you have Wemby who's coming back healthy, but boy, that's a lot of money for.
That's a lot.
That's tough. That's really tough. And the next category are the building around the young cores, and that would be the Atlanta Hawks. Don't talk to me about Trae Young.
I hate it.
No, but I think they think that Daniels and Risa Shea and
Risa Shea, I like him. But what's not to like?
But they never gave him the ball last year. When he had the ball, he scored.
He's going to be set to really make a big step forward, I believe. Yeah. He's a very fine player. I just think you can't get the ball out of Trae Young's hands.
Yeah, he'd be better on another team. He'd be great in Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to have him. Then the Detroit Pistons, and we know that the Pistons are,
they're on the upswing for now, and then they'll Bickerstaff out.
That's the question. The question in Detroit is Bickerstaff's methodology is kind of like Thibodeau's in the sense that it's kind of a mordant offensive scheme. It's predicated on a lot of playing time and hard pressure defense and contact defense, and lends itself to players getting hurt and then, as their careers progress, becoming frustrated.
And if Cade Cunningham gets hurt, man, they're fucked. The Pistons are dead.
Well, and that's the other thing is that they're not that deep, and the question is as much to me: can JB Bickerstaff take the next step that he was never able to take in Cleveland?
No.
And then you got the Memphis Grizzlies, the Portland Trailblazers, and the San Antonio Spurs. And those are the teams,
they're relevant.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, a lot of the teams like the Golden State Warriors that you would think in years past, or the LA Clippers, even the Los Angeles Lakers, there is no real positive vibe, except that they're saying that Luka's losing weight, and that LeBron signed to play one more year, but he's not real happy about it. The Miami Heat, they really got to rebuild there.
Mm-hmm.
And the 76ers are seemingly always looking for the one elusive piece. And really, the piece that's missing is the piece of Joel
ownership.
Hans Embiid's leg that never
Yeah.
seems to get
That-
found.
Yeah.
So, and you know, and as far as gap years are concerned, the Boston Celtics and now the Pacers because of Halliburton's loss. I think the Pacers, because they understand the scheme that they're in, but God, Tatum, I mean, he's a really good ball player, but he and Brown were. I mean, honestly, they dominated the ball such a large percentage of the time.
Yeah.
There's going to have to be some serious people to pick up in Boston.
Yeah, the thing about Tatum being hurt is that you're going to find out how bad Peyton Pritchard really is.
Well, that's just it. I mean, people who maybe were able to get away with things, and it's the LeBron thing. It's the same thing that he makes everybody around him look better. And with Halliburton being gone, who's going to make the big shot for the Indiana Pacers, and who's going to handle the ball and run the show? And then the perennial losers, the Nets, the Hornets, the Jazz, and the Wizards. I mean, and then the Bulls, the Pelicans, the Kings, and the Raptors. And there you have it. So that's what I can tell you. All right. I'm finished. I've said everything I wanted to say. And if you think I was too harsh on Mary Kay Cabot, this
Fucking blow me.
has nothing to do with gender, okay? I mean, if she'd shown any courage as a writer over all the years I've been doing this podcast, when it was it was just a matter of being honest. It's like when you're 1-31 over 2 years, you got to be critical, and to sit there and to keep licking the feet of ownership, it really becomes nauseating. And to think that she now has the podium, so to speak, to say that about a Hall of Fame coach. She should have said it a long time ago, because if she had any stones whatsoever, she'd have said that, because Belichick is a prick. He's a rotten human being.
Then other people may have come out and said things about Belichick as well.
Well, I mean, somebody has to be first,
Correct.
And that's the hard part of all this. Unfortunately, it wasn't her, and I guess it never will be her.
So how many games is North Carolina going to get on national TV because Belichick is there?
Well, it's certainly going to be a story, and the question is how many games will he only be able to get it up with his after wins?
She's there to help the team's morale in the locker room. Let's just leave it at that.
And honestly, it's I'm 68 years old, all right? And what, Belichick 70?
Yeah, he's older than me too.
And I try to be very open and honest about my life, and in the fact that back in 2019 got divorced, and I was confronted with the situation, which at the time I was like 62 years old, 62 to 63 years old when that happened. And it's like, got to meet people, but I am not going to be going after. And you're going to say, well, you couldn't get a young woman. Bullshit. Bill Belichick got one.
Mark's got money. He can fucking.
There you go. You got to be careful about this shit. You really do. And so when I look at a guy like Belichick doing that, I'd like to think that, hey, they're really in love.
They're in love, yeah.
But part of me just says, nah, I don't think so. Yeah. So that's his life. He can do what he wants to do. But yeah, people will be looking at that program and it will be the same thing as Vince Lombardi. We've seen this before with veteran old coaches jumping back into the game, and uh, that time passed them by. And
Yep.
Belichick was never a great offensive coach. He was a very brilliant defensive mind. Give him his credit, but he knew nothing about offense whatsoever. And he lucked into a seventh round draft pick that nobody could have ever again
It'll never happen
gotten
again.
lucky like that. So, yeah, it's a long way to go. Him and Shador, they got a lot to learn, a long way to go to resurrect the North Carolina football program. But it'll be interesting seeing him try to make a horse race out of it anyway. So thank you, Tony, and
Oh, Moose.
Moose too, of course, and I'm really sorry
And
about.
David Tulevsky,
Yeah,
wherever you are.
yeah, I don't know what happened to Talevsky. Uh, he just doesn't have a signal. And I will write to him because there are ways that you can get a better signal. And it has to do with like Reynolds wrap. No, I'm kidding.
Put
And a
some
piece of
oil.
string.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoy watching your games, Tony.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Although it's Monday Night Raw night tonight, so I gotta watch that.
There you go.
Uh.
Everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in to Monday edition. I'll be back again, and you're going to be sick of me on Friday. You're going to see me not only on the show, but you're going to see me at halftime as well. So
Wow.
there you have it. I got to strap on my boots and go to work. Me and Shador. Thanks, everybody.
Put your strap on. Oh, dear.
Take care, everybody, and be good, and I'll see you again on Friday. Until then, hasta la vista, Fasterheads.